Let's go. Cool. Thank you guys for coming. You had a picture. You were, yeah, you're first. For like, are you guys all 7th or 8th? Is there 6 in the school or no?
Yeah. Not his class.
There's 6 in the school too?
Yeah.
Mine's 7th and 8th. So my name's Jeremy. I am a professional photographer in the Reno area. I know you guys have a list of questions, so if I don't hit them, feel free to ask me. I'll give you guys a little 5 minutes at the end to ask so you guys fill out your papers. But I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff today, more about being an entrepreneur rather than a photographer. But we'll talk about how it kind of coincides. So I am born and raised here in Sparks. I went to Mendive. I went to Reed High School. And I started off as my first career was a massage therapist. So what I like to do is kind of talk about where I was when I was your age. So I went to Mendive. I was like that kind of geeky kid that didn't talk to anybody. I always call myself an introvert, which means that I'm happier sitting in my room, playing video games, editing, which is why I'm a photographer, right? I sit in my office for long times of the day. When I'm behind the camera though, when I have my camera up, I can talk to anybody. I can do anything. But when I put the camera down, I just want to be by myself. So that's what an introvert means. There's nothing wrong with being an introvert. An extrovert is opposite. So they're kind of the crazy outgoing, can talk to anybody, party, and have a good time. We can fake it a little bit, but I'd rather be at home. Lots of video games. I'm like Call of Duty, Prestige 15 right now, Black Ops 3. I have a headset, but yes, it's kind of nerdy. So when I was your age, I actually worked at McDonald's when I was in 8th grade. I worked at McDonald's. They hired. Yep. They're bad because I gave away a lot of food. I started off as a lobby. Basically, I would just clean everything. And then actually when I was 9th grade, when I became 15, I actually became the manager of a McDonald's. From 4 to 11 every single day, Monday through Friday. So not every single day, Monday through Friday. And I had money. But what I lacked was everything else of school. I used to look at that as a bad thing because my friends after school would go, hey, you want to go and hang out? You want to go play? You want to go to Al Sorensen's? We had a basketball, we had swimming and everything there. I can't, I have to work. So I would always look back at that and say, I kind of missed out on my education or that side of my education. I feel like education is both social and the actual school itself. So what I had to do is look back on the positives of everything, right? So, do you guys work? Does anybody work here? What do you got? What do you do?
I do a lawn business in my neighborhood.
What? How much you charge?
$5 for a lawn.
How, like any size lawn? Bro, I got so many lawns, but it's all one lawn, so within one lawn.
I work with my dad as he's an electrician, and I just ravel wires and stuff, ravel them up, and then I can climb in attics and put in staples.
Do the stuff that little people can do that your dad can't get into?
Exactly.
That's perfect. Good, I like that. So I want to talk to you guys more about entrepreneurship today. Do you guys know what that means? What entrepreneurs are? What entrepreneurship is?
It's like selling stuff.
It is selling stuff. Let's break it down a little smaller, and let's say it's running your own business and selling anything, right? Let's think about me as a photographer. So if you guys know any other photographers, you have to know that the way I make my money is by asking people to do photos. More times than not, when I first started, people had no idea who I was or why I was taking pictures. My job was to let them know that, hey, I take pictures, and not only do I take pictures, but I charge money for it. Photography is an art. A lot of people don't think of art as something you can make money for. Do you guys agree or disagree? If you guys were to paint me a painting right now, or just paint a painting for yourself, would you guys just throw it in your closet, or would you try to sell it?
Sell them.
You would sell it? Good. You would sell it?
I would
And why would you try to sell it?
get money.
To get that money, right? That's what you gotta do. And so why is it that a lot of artists or we always hear the joke. Have you guys heard of the term starving artists? Because these artists, so it's a term. I'm telling you now, it's a term. Starving artist is a term. That a lot of artists will come in to create something and not think it's good enough to sell. So my job now as an entrepreneur and a photographer to the younger minds of the world is to tell you guys that everything that you guys do can be turned into a profit, can be enjoyed by other people, that whatever you do is not a waste of quote-unquote time. I don't have an artistic bone in my body, right? So I didn't bring any photography with me today. I didn't bring anything of mine to show you guys because that's not what it's about. It's not about me, it's not about my work. But a little bit about me, I am voted best photographer of Reno for 5 years in a row. And then I'm like, I win awards and stuff for like stuff. But it's literally just pushing a button, right? I see things a little bit differently than everybody else sees it. So if I were to give you guys all a piece of paper and I say draw a man riding on a horse, do you think everybody's gonna draw the exact same dude riding on the exact same horse?
No.
No.
That's where the art comes into play. So for some reason, I can look at this room, at the light coming in, and I can create an epic image that other people can't. That becomes my art. So whether you guys, everybody here is in an art class? Because I know you guys are all like a jumble of peeps. Cool. So is anybody here into photography? Sweet. Do you guys have cameras? You guys have phones or anything?
Yes.
Cool.
I always have one.
So I will tell you the best camera that you have is the camera that's with you. Okay? If I'm out and I have 3 little girls, 3 daughters, all in elementary school. If they decide to go jump off a boat into the ocean and I want to grab a shot, I'm not going to look for the best camera that I can find. I'm going to take out my phone and I'm going to grab that picture. But I'm going to grab that picture the most creative way that I can so that they have those memories to remind themselves of. Okay, so for the photographers in here, listen to me. So I don't have a creative bone in my body. When I was in school, I could not draw. I was a singer. I was in choir. That was my. Are you in choir?
Yeah.
Bro, you want to
that's
sing real quick?
exactly me. No.
Okay, yeah. That would have been just awkward. 5 minutes of singing right now. The only thing I did was choir. I didn't do any sports. I don't feel like I missed out. I'm not a sports guy. Like I'm really good at sports. I just didn't need to be on a team. And I didn't make basketball because I couldn't dribble with my left hand. But like, I'm the guy that's on the basketball court that dribbles forever but never shoots. Just go around everybody so we can get any points. But I didn't take any art classes. I couldn't draw. I couldn't do anything artistic. I wasn't in yearbook. And photography was so far away from where I wanted to be. And the reason I tell you this is because as I was building my life, I decided that I was not an artist. Until one day, somebody was like, you have an amazing mind, blah, 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 blah. Until I kind of decided that I was. A few past careers that I have, which means I rub people's bodies with lotion for money. Somebody asked you to like rub their feet, money. Seriously, $20. Yeah, like parents, if they rub my feet, $20. I was a bartender, and ultimately all I do is photography. I also run a studio called Hatch Reno in downtown Reno. Hatch is a membership-based photography studio for photographers, videographers, and models. We basically teach photographers, models, and videographers how to work, not only how to work behind the camera, but work their businesses. So for you guys, as you get a little older and you do decide to go into the arts, just know that there are tons of places within our community that you guys can grow together. And the reason I built this is kind of important. When I first started photography, I was a massage therapist. I was making good money as a massage therapist. I was providing for my family, but I wanted to do something else. We were having the birth of our second child, which is our first birth because we adopted our first kid, right? So my little Rai face, poo-poo head. We decided to, I went to Best Buy because my camera broke, bought a new camera. The guy's like, hey, buy this camera that you can change lenses on. And I'm like, let's do that, buddy. And so I bought that camera, and I went home and I started taking pictures, and guess what? My pictures were crap. I was like pushing buttons, I have no idea what I'm doing. I went onto a site, flickr.com. If you guys haven't checked that out, check it out, but put the parental settings on there, please. FLICKR.com. And you can put your camera model in there, and it shows all the pictures that were taken with that camera model. So I put the Sony A300, which I thought was like a bad A camera, really awesome camera. It's not. So I was seeing all these amazing photos come from this camera. So I'm a nerd. So I started Googling, YouTubing, and taught myself how to shoot. But I was forced to do that because you know what? In our area, there was nobody willing to teach me how to shoot. I emailed 5 photographers in the area, right? So I want you guys to imagine you're me. You're super excited about this new thing. You want a little bit of help. So you ask 5 people who you know are amazing at what they do. And you go on and say, hey, will you help me? Or is there a way that I can come hang out with you? I'll pay you, I'll hang out with you to do this. What would you expect their answer to be? What would you hope their answer would be? Yeah, I'll help you, right? These 5 photographers, 3 of them told me to drop dead. 1 said I was gonna kill the photography industry. And 1 said $600 to work with them for an hour. Which the $600 isn't too bad now that I think about it because they're trying to make some money, but I couldn't afford $600. So, I felt sad. I was gonna quit. And if I quit then, Hatcherino wouldn't existed, Jeremy Lou Photography wouldn't existed, and I would have just been doing massage still, which is not a bad career, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. So ultimately I ended up teaching myself how to shoot, and as I started to build and get a little more acknowledgement from the community, I've only talked for 10 minutes. It's like it's been 40. So as I got a little bit more acknowledgement from the community, photographers, newer photographers started to contact me and say, hey, can you teach me? What was my answer?
Yes.
Heck yeah, right? I never say no to anybody. Maybe because I like to help people, maybe because it's my past, but I feel like it's our job as we grow to teach people what we know, right? My mentality of the photographers that said no to me simply because they felt that I was going to take their secrets and I was going to take all their clients away from them. Ultimately, they didn't create any of the secrets that they're trying to hold on to. They've learned it from somebody else. I've also become a better photographer because I teach photography. Does that make sense? It said that if you teach something, you retain more of the information. So do you guys know how to loom? I feel like the girls are loomers. Is that past your age? Do you know what a loom is?
No.
Bro, what?
Loom.
See, good. I was saying right. The little rubber band things that you like put together?
Oh, those were really popular like 2 years ago.
Well, my girls are like, I make tons. Because they're babies.
Yeah.
They're little kids. 2 years ago.
3.
You're gonna go home and loom tonight.
I don't have one.
Red and black. Whatever you make me, red and black.
I don't have one.
You're gonna get one. Somebody put that on my Instagram, she gets a loom. But I have them teaching me how to loom so that they know how to do it better. Does that make sense? So if you can teach somebody something, you'll retain it more. Fast forward to now, I run Hatcherino.com. We are in the process of becoming a nonprofit. You don't have to know much about that. Just know that our community is getting a lot bigger for the arts, and we're here to help you guys. So, I know you guys have a list of questions. I have a list of topics I have to talk about. Give me the next question on there. Is there another question? What up?
What skills are needed for this career/opportunity?
You tell me. I'm a photographer. What skills do I need to have photography stuff?
A good eye for a good photo.
Perfect. Being able to see something differently that other people can't see, right? Whether it's my height, I can't see things that you can see at this age because you guys are short, right? So you guys, you're kind of tall, man. So you can be super tall. So, if you guys are short, you guys see something differently. I am known to be looking through things. If I were to take a picture, I always do something like this, so I can look through little holes of stuff. What else?
Maybe seeing the beauty in like the environment around you.
Everything, right? Do you guys think there's ugly people in the world? Answer.
On the inside.
No, I mean on the outside. Let's be real here. On the inside, there's horrible people. I feel us as, my job as a photographer is I photographed thousands of people. Thousands of people. And my job is to find the beauty in every single person. So I will look at everybody and I will not prejudge them on how they look, how they act, or how they treat me, because they may be having a bad day. My job is to break all that down and find the beauty in somebody. So I want you guys to imagine, let's say the ugliest celebrity you can find. But then I get hired to shoot that ugliest celebrity. I have to find, who is it? Who? You don't, he's ugly? You don't like gingers? Hideous? Didn't he date like Taylor Swift or something? Who did he date? I think he's pretty cute, man. He's like,
How about Donald Trump?
yeah, but his hair, though, it's amazing.
Oh,
It's so
in
good.
your eye.
Yeah, but like if I was shooting him and I had like 3 fans going at it, it would just be like a Victoria's Secret ad.
There you
Yeah. So you have to, that's your job. So if I'm hired to shoot somebody, or if you guys are painters or anything, and you have to create something based off a person, that's your job, is to find the beauty of it. Because if you don't, it's not their fault, it's your fault for messing up. Does that make sense? Cool, what else? What other skills do I need to be a good photographer? Perfect. Business. There's 2 sides of every art business. And this is the side that I believe that every artist needs to enhance. The photography side is cool. The painting side is cool. We can be amazing at it, but what if we don't know how to sell it? What if I don't know how to tell people that I'm doing art? What if I don't know how to tell people I'm charging for art? That's a skill that you guys have. So before I became a massage therapist, I went to college. I went to UNR for business. I didn't finish my business degree because I slept in one day and just kept sleeping. But I always tell people that I went to college but I didn't graduate. It doesn't mean I didn't retain the information that I had. So my biggest skill and the biggest thing that I have as an entrepreneur is that I understand business. I understand how to charge people, how to make people give me money for a product, and how to get them excited about telling other people about me. And that's my biggest secret, is making people talk about you. Positively, hopefully, or negatively, I guess. Have you guys heard of thedirty.com?
No.
Good. Don't. All right, what's your next question before I move on to my next thing?
What school subjects are needed for success?
What?
What school subjects are needed?
All. Everything. I mean, art obviously is huge, right? I didn't take art. I honestly don't think they offered art. I remember in high school they didn't offer photography. I didn't take it. I took a lot of math, whether that's built into my people. I took a lot of math. I took a lot of science. I took all my cores. I didn't do any like gifted and talented. I wasn't in any AP classes. I rushed through school. That was me. Remember I said I worked and I went to school. I didn't take the extracurricular side, the fun side of school, which I highly recommend you guys do as you guys get into high school. You know, make sure you're joining teams, hanging out with people after school, living a little, but don't get in trouble or just don't get caught. Don't get caught.
Yeah.
So, I want you guys all to close your eyes real quick. I'm watching all of you. I'm waiting for you. Okay. I don't want you guys to really think about where you're going to be in 10 years from now, but I want you guys to think about where you're going to be in 10 years from now. So, close your eyes. It's not a goal thing. It's not like, hey, I want to be a billionaire. It's not, I don't want to have like a 6-pack, which I've always chased. I've always chased a 6-pack. I'm a belly. I want you guys to think about where you're going to be in 10 years from now. And the reason I do this is, you know, before I do that, where are you living? What kind of car are you driving? Are you married? How old are you guys? 13, 14?
12.
I got married at 22, so that's about right. So yeah, like imagine you right now, 10 years from now, I got married then. 10 years, yeah. Kids, everything. Just got a puppy, just now. Okay, everybody open your eyes. This is important to do because I used to do this all the time. I used to close my eyes and I would think exactly where I wanted to be and live. And for some reason in my mind, I was always gonna be successful. Everybody that closed their eyes here, did anybody think that they were going to be living on the street? Did anybody think that they were going to be living in their car? Or not have a car? I'm sure everybody here is like the type of car I'm going to have is a block, right? Or the house I'm going to have is huge. I need you guys to maintain that. Hi. What? Wanna do it together? So I want you guys to maintain that thought, because what happens is as you get a little bit older and as you start to go into the arts, if you guys do that, that dream starts to fade a little bit. We start to think we're not good enough to do something. So whatever you guys thought of yourself doing in 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, I want you guys to maintain that thought. Does that make sense? It's super important. So, all right, next question before I go into my hustle speech.
Something I found interesting about this career.
That's not a question. That's what you think.
Well, then I'm going to talk about what I think is interesting about this career that I chose. When I was your guys' age, I had a girlfriend, Stephanie Walker, glasses, braces, super cute. She's a teacher now at Midday. And I spent a lot of my time after dating her trying to figure the best way to get another girlfriend. I was horrible with girls. I still kind of am, but I'm stuck with my wife, which is a good thing for her. I was great with girls. So as I became a photographer, the cool thing about photography, or any art really, is that you can combine two loves together, right? I like girls. I get to photograph a lot of girls now, as a professional photographer. But say you like cars. Why can't you do photography and photograph a bunch of high-end, really expensive cars? They'll let you drive it. You love food? I shoot for a ton of food companies. I like food. I'm a foodie. I like gross food, like tongue and kidney and it's delicious. What's called sweetbreads, yeah. It's good stuff. So, 4 minutes? So, two loves together. That's what I find super interesting about photography. Anybody can, especially with arts, anything like that, anybody can do it. All right, I'm gonna move on. My last thing here. A couple things that's not really related to photography, but it's super important that you guys hear this because I heard this later in life and it kind of stuck with me as of now. The first thing is when somebody asks you a question or asks you to do something, give them an honest and direct answer. If I ask you, hey, do you want to go to my barbecue tomorrow? Are you gonna say maybe? You want to go to my barbecue? Okay. I want you guys to learn the art of yes and no, and not maybe, or not, I'll think about it. The greatest gift that you can give to somebody, I don't know where I read this somewhere. The greatest gift that you can give somebody is telling them no. Okay? If I ask you to do something, or ask you to join in on something, and you give me a maybe, in my mind you still might do it, but in your mind you've already said no. So I'm going to be chasing you. I'm going to be asking you again. So if somebody asks you a question, what are you going to say? Yes or no. And that's a gift to them. It may hurt their feelings if they say no, but all of a sudden now they're like, all right, they're out. We don't have to worry about it anymore. But if you say maybe, bro, you're a jerk. And then always listen to people. Stop talking. Okay? If somebody wants to talk to you, listen. Stare at them. Nod. Understand what they're saying. The greatest gift that you can give somebody is listening. The second greatest gift is saying their name. People love hearing their names. If I say your name all the time, you're going to love it. So when you talk to somebody, when you talk to me, you say, hey, Jeremy, you have great work, Jeremy. Your hair's amazing, Jeremy. I like this vest you just picked up from Banana Republics. I love that stuff. So make sure that you guys are listening to people when they talk. Give them the time of day. One of my biggest clients from this last year was somebody I went to middle school with, and she's still a teacher. And she spent a crap ton of money to get me to Utah, to Moab, to shoot her amazing wedding in the middle of nowhere. And she paid for a cabin and a flight and a car for me. Those good times. But I was nice to her. I listened to her in school. I'm always a nice guy. Is that it?
Great, let's thank Jeremy for coming.
You said you had 3 daughters, right?
I have 3 daughters, yeah.
That's ironic because you said you're not very good with girls.
I know, yeah, that's that guy playing jokes on me, man. now I just get yelled at all the time. I have a girl dog, a girl wife, and then 3 girl kids. Yeah, I'm the only boy. Awesome, guys.
Any last questions?
Fill out your thing. Did I answer all those questions on that thing? I've never seen that before. So.
Okay, let's give a healthier round of applause in that first round.
Leave your chairs where they are.
All right, you guys know where you're going next?
Yeah.
Good luck, 'cause I don't.
Sixth period.
Yeah, I remember that. Grab a ribbon, take it with you until the end of the day.
Bye.